Hello and welcome back to Kryptonite-Calv. Today I'm going to be having a look at the FAKER action figure from the Masters of the Universe Origins toy line from Mattel. So, by the power of Grayskull, let's get started! Let me start out by saying I love Masters of the Universe. I've been a massive fan since I was really young, and I find the lore and the characters absolutely fascinating, and of course, it all started with the toy line. The original Masters of the Universe is a toy line that ran from 1982 to 1988. The year I was born. It was so successful that it dominated the shelves for years and even produced a Filmation animated series which is still loved today, and also a blockbuster movie starring Dolph Lundgren as He-Man and the great Frank Langella as Skeletor. Let them rot. Let them rot. That was the cartoon, sorry. There's so much backstory that goes into the creation of Masters of the Universe, I couldn't possibly go into it all here, so please check out the Power of Grayskull documentary. It'll tell you everything you want to know and more. It's fantastic. Saying that, I will delve into it just a little bit. On the planet of Eternia, King Randor and Queen Marlena have a son, Adam. Prince Adam to be more accurate, and when Adam holds the sword of Grayskull above his head and shouts, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!" he is transformed into He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. He-Man has a pet tiger called Cringer who transforms into the mighty Battle Cat. He-Man fights alongside his friends Teela, Man-at-Arms, Orko, Ram Man, Stratos, and Mechaneck, just to name a few. Equally, Skeletor has his own Rose Gallery, his evil horde of nasty do-badders, shall we say. He fights alongside Merman, Beastman, Triclops, and Trapjaw. Don't know what that was supposed to be. The jaw, I suppose. Heavily inspired by Conan the Barbarian, He-Man was created by Mark Taylor and Roger Sweet. The toy line would be released by Mattel, and it would be an even bigger hit than anyone had ever expected. The toy line did very well indeed, but would eventually hit its inevitable dip in sales, and it ceased production in 1988. This wouldn't be the last we'd hear from He-Man though, as in 2002 a brand new animated series would hit the TV screens, bringing with it a fresh new look at the lore of Eternia and a brand new redesign of all the characters. This series would not last very long, however, much to the dismay of the creators and many fans around the world. He-Man! Thankfully, over the years, there has been a massive resurgence in Masters of the Universe action figures. You can collect everything from the Masters Classics line, the Origins line. You can even get a Ninja Turtles mashup called Turtles of Grayskull. There's the Masterverse toy line, and you can even get your favorite WWE wrestlers in the style of the original He-Man figures. That's awesome. Too many to collect. Why? Today though, we're going to be looking at the character of FAKER, originally listed on the box art as the evil robot of Skeletor or evil robot imposter. FAKER was originally designed as a robot replica of He-Man, but later media would have him turn into an actual clone of He-Man being created by magic. Originally, when the Masters figures hit the shelves, Mattel ran into a little bit of a snag. There was no pre-existing movie or animated series, so children had no way to find out more about the lore of Eternia or the characters in general. So at the last minute, some of the creators decided that a mini-comic would be included in with each action figure, so children could now learn everything about their new favourite heroes and villains. Oh, I'm the villain. Oh, it feels so good. etc. Some of the lore in these mini-comics had not been fully fleshed out yet, and by the time the Filmation animated series arrived, certain changes to the backstory had to be made. This is probably the reason that there's multiple differing versions of the character of FAKER. In the original mini-comics, FAKER was indeed an evil robot duplicate of He-Man, with the intention being that he could use He-Man's power for evil doings. Something along those lines. Skeletor sent FAKER to impersonate He-Man with the intention of distracting King Randor from finding out about the secret of Keldor, but King Randor wasn't fooled and impaled FAKER straight through the chest with a spear. That is well metal. The Filmation version of FAKER was created by Skeletor and his evil magic, and he was an exact identical copy of He-Man, with the only differences being glowing eyes and a hollow voice. This version of FAKER tried to lure the sorceress out of Castle Grayskull, but ended up throwing down with He-Man and charged straight at him and accidentally threw himself down a bottomless pit, never to be seen again, although Skeletor claims that he did recover him. Went to the bottom, did ya, of the bottomless pit? We're all retrieving things from the bottom of the bottomless pit, you fucking idiot. That's Skeletor. Royal boob. The version of FAKER used in the London Edition's UK magazine was a magical creation of Skeletor's, who could temporarily change his blue skin back to normal, but only for a limited time. This interpretation of FAKER holds an angry grudge against He-Man for beating him in a previous battle. God, fucking FAKERs and grudges. If that's even a thing. I do own a few He-Man annuals from the UK, which you can see behind me, and this is where I first learned about the character of FAKER, and this version of FAKER is the most metal yet. Robot pun intended. Are you ready for this? This FAKER is a psychotic mass murderer who escaped from the intergalactic prison star and becomes Skeletor's trusty assistant. He is depicted as one of Skeletor's spells gone wrong, largely due to Beastman getting involved, and this caused him to come out deformed with blue skin instead of a perfect replica of He-Man. Oh shit. Oh shit. In the Masters of the Universe Classics line, FAKER was a robot double for He-Man created by Man-at-Arms and abandoned at the Royal Junkyard after just one mission. He would then be discovered by Triclops and was reprogrammed to do Skeletor's evil deeds. In the show Masters of the Universe Revelation, FAKER was an evil robot duplicate of He-Man who tried to trick the sorceress into letting him into the castle, but nobody was fooled and he ended up getting cut in half by Man-at-Arms. Bloody hell. Never goes well for FAKER, does it? And now for some FAKER trivia. FAKER trivia! The character of He-Slave in the New Adventures of He-Man would end up recycling FAKER's original concept, which is a nice touch right there. Writer Paul Dini, who some of you might know also from the Batman animated series, one of the greatest shows ever, he did want to bring the character of FAKER back after he'd fallen in the bottomless pit in the episode The Shaping Staff, but these ideas never come to fruition, which is a great shame. There were two versions released of the original FAKER, one featuring darker boots and a larger chest sticker which was not concealed by his armour, and a more common version with purple boots and a smaller chest sticker. This also reminds me, my friends, if you are buying a loose FAKER action figure, always check the boots. I've seen scumsuckers online trying to con people by saying they've got a FAKER action figure when really it's just FAKER's head stuck on Skeletor's body. It's the blue skin. Always check the boots. The original FAKER action figure was later reissued with a bit of a different colour scheme and a solid plastic head instead of a hollow rubber one. The second release from 1987 is apparently very rare and can fetch high prices. Although, unfortunately, FAKER was not included in the animated series from 2002, a mail-away figure was available if you collected the Toy Fair magazine. He was also going to be featured in a double pack with Cobra Khan, part of the NECA minifigures toy line, but this never happened as there were massive factory problems. FAKER was intended to play a major role in the planned Series 3 of the 2002 He-Man cartoon, but the series was cancelled before this could ever happen. In the episode Courage of Adam, there is a FAKER reference, however. When a holographic He-Man robot built by Man-at-Arms is being deactivated, it quickly flashes the FAKER colours before it collapses. That's a nice touch right there. This was a subtle nod to fans that this robot would eventually become FAKER in the third series, but unfortunately it never happened. This figure of FAKER, however, is from the Masters of the Universe Origins toy line. This toy line was created to primarily visually represent the original action figures, but with the benefit of modern-day articulation, with the tagline on the boxes reading, "Modern Posing, Retro Play." I didn't give this toy line much attention when it was released in 2020 due to some of the characters' redesigns. Being that the whole point of the toy line is supposed to visually represent the original figures, I didn't really understand a lot of the changes in the character designs, let's put it that way. But I went for it, got myself a FAKER. That's right, mother FAKER. Sorry. All of these Origins figures come with brand new mini-comics included. This will be a definite selling point to fans of the original 80s mini-comics. I got a friend, Wayne, he has all the mini-comics in one book, and I definitely like to take a closer look at that. Well, that's enough fucking trivia for a minute. Let's have a look at this figure. This stunning FAKER action figure has very vibrant colours and does indeed look very much like the original version. It stands 5.5 inches in height and has over 16 working joints, making it highly posable, so if you are a collector who likes to display your figures outside of the box, then you are in luck. The retro packaging on this box is fantastic and is practically identical to the original 80s packaging that looked so glorious on the shelves back in the day, and now you can have it on your shelf in your own home. Upon doing my research of this figure, the difference in appearance is described as design updates that add an exciting look to the future. Like that, is it, Mattel? What a bunch of bull-ish. Personally, the design updates don't really work for me, just a personal preference, but the Trapjaw figure, for instance. When compared to the original, the updated Origins version just looks too clean and polished and actually makes them look a bit cheap. But I do have a tendency to change my mind depending on the excitement factor. But yeah, this figure is an exception though, as it really does look like the original. If you are someone who likes to line their figures up library book style, then you're a bit fucking out of luck with this one, as it can be lined up with other Motu figures, but really, this bad boy is designed to be displayed front on, and for good reason. The classic retro packaging! As I mentioned earlier, each Origins figure comes with a new mini comic book featuring all your favourite Motu heroes and villains. Also, each figure comes with a battle accessory, and in this case, it's the orange FAKER sword. Sick! Upon doing my research, every version of this Origins FAKER figure that I can find online has the description "Modern Posing, Retro Play," as mentioned earlier. Whereas this figure simply says, "Includes comic." Also, every description of this figure claims it comes with a spare head, but this is not the case with my figure. The Filmation version of the figure does include a spare head, so it might just be that the same description is used for both figures because somebody fucked up. This figure also has an attack feature. If you put the sword in his hand and twist him at the waist, he'll spin back and smack the shit out of his enemy right in the face. On the back of the box is some incredible artwork featuring FAKER attacking Ram Man and Manny faces, along with images of other figures available in this line, such as He-Man, Skeletor, Merman, and Manny faces. Overall, I'm really pleased with this FAKER. Its updated design is subtle enough that it resembles the original figure, the packaging is gorgeous and oozes nostalgia every time I look at it, and it looks fucking great on the shelf. Awesome. Well, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to Kryptonite-Calv. If you enjoyed my video, please use your power of Grayskull to smash the fuck out of that like button and subscribe. It'd really help. And I'd fucking love it. I really would. So, Until next time, by the power of Grayskull! Go, 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 Faker! Go, go, go!